Thank you. Good morning and welcome to Unity Halton Peel on this December 14th morning. Oh, such a wonderful morning and such a wonderful time to be together. Thank you for joining us for this Sunday gathering, and we welcome Reverend Dr. Jane Simmons with us this morning from Kettle Falls. Our mission, please repeat it with me. Our mission is to lovingly inspire transformation and be of service to this world. And our affirmation for Unity Halton Peel, let's repeat this together. We at Unity Halton Peel are blessed with an abundantly thriving community, and it is done, and so it is. And I would ask Ruth Ellen to open her mic and read the daily word. Please, Ruth Ellen.
Thank you, Patty.
You're
The daily word for today, the title is Love. I give and receive love with gratitude and joy. This Advent season, I turn my attention to the myriad ways love expresses within and all around me. I feel called to share blessings of love with people in all circumstances and receive their blessings of love in kind. I may join in festive celebrations, sharing cheer and fellowship with friends and colleagues. I practice patience and understanding, especially during moments of frustration as I go about my Christmas preparations. I feel compassion for those who struggle during the holidays and reach out to them with support and caring. These are some of the ways I show love to others. When I receive their time, attention, and gifts with gratitude, I am letting them show their love to me. From John chapter 13, verse 34, I give you a new commandment, that you love one another. Just as I have loved you, you also should love one another.
Beautiful.
Said the night wind to the little lamb, do you see what I see?
Do you see what I see?
Way up in the sky, little lamb. Do you see what I see?
Do you see what I see?
A star, dancing in the night, with a tail as big as a kite, with a tail as big as a kite. Said the little lamb to the shepherd boy, do you hear what I hear?
Do you hear what I hear?
Ringing through the sky, shepherd boy. Do you hear what I hear?
Do you hear what I hear?
A song, high above the tree, with a voice as big as the sea, with a voice as big as the sea. Said the shepherd boy to the mighty king, do you know what I know? In your palace warm, mighty king, do you know what I know? A child shivers in the cold. Let us bring him silver and gold. Let us bring him silver and gold. Said the king to the people everywhere, listen to what I say. Pray for peace, people everywhere. Listen to what I say. The child sleeping in the night, he will bring us goodness and light. He will bring us goodness and light.
crescendo. Beautiful. So, during the month of December, we celebrate joy. I am joy. My life is an eternal celebration of joy. And also during the month of December, our friends and family across Canada in the Unity family are holding us in their prayers. Unity Halton Peel and Centers for Spiritual Living New Thought Ministries. And this morning we have Reverend Dr. Jane Simmons with us, and Jane is going to read for us the Advent reading for this third Sunday of Advent, and then go into your lesson, Jane. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. This is such a beautiful reading, written by Reverend Maggie Alderman, and it's about love. There's something about Christmas time that seems to amplify the energy and expression of love. Maybe it's the novelty of this sacred time. After all, it isn't every day that we reminisce over ornaments crafted by once tiny hands, or pause to remember loved ones who are no longer with us on this earthly plane. Or maybe it's the steady rhythm of love always flowing through us that becomes so elevated it cannot be contained and must be shared. Think about it. Love just feels better during Christmas, doesn't it? We experience expressions of love in a multitude of ways: a warm hug, receiving a Christmas card, or admiring a perfectly decorated tree. And some of the best gifts shared are those made with love. We cherish them, knowing we were held within the heart of the Creator as their gift took shape. It's the thought that counts, certainly, but there's more to it than that. It's someone important to us saying, "Thank you, I see you, I love you too." Often receiving a gift from these people is just icing. Somehow knowing them and getting to be in relationship with them is gift enough. Have you ever stopped to consider the impact your love has made on the world? Not just to those closest to you, those who by virtue of family or friendship have to love you, but the ripple that your love creates in the lives of others simply by letting your Christ light shine brightly. At times we may be tempted to downplay our own love, convincing ourselves that it isn't anything special, that the world and those around us would function just fine and never know the difference should our love be withheld. Such thoughts go against the truth of our divine nature and the purpose for our journey through the Advent season each year. This is our opportunity to deepen our spiritual roots and further develop our faith and love so we can live more fully in the light of truth. Unity co-founder Myrtle Fillmore taught us that love is the great harmonizer, a force that can heal, restore, unite. She believed love has the power to bring us into harmony with ourselves as well as others. And where love is present, negativity and discord dissolve. At Christmas time, we're reminded of the loving presence of the Christ within, and we feel Myrtle's words in a much deeper way. Love at its core is a harmonizing force. And when we open our hearts to freely give and receive love, whether in the form of a shared memory or a homemade gift, we are aligned with the divine law of unity. It is the energy of love that fosters peace and healing in our lives and in the world around us. So let's take a moment to take those words into our hearts as we open ourselves in prayer to the harmonizing power of love, knowing that it dissolves all discord, and really feel the beauty of that, the value of that. For we know the truth that God is our source and that we are divine love in expression. And so we give thanks on this day as we become the change that we wish to see in the world by becoming the presence of love, peace, compassion, kindness in our world. And for this opportunity to be spirit in action, we are grateful. Well, good morning, everyone. I'm going to share my screen and see how that goes. There we go. My talk title this morning is A Star of Hope. And the reason I chose that is because I believe that's what this season is all about. It's about the hope for something greater to come forth, the hope of the birth of something new. It's about the hope for possibility of change and transformation. Can you feel that sense of hopefulness that really rises up this time of year? Because we find this theme in many of the Christmas movies that we watch too this time of year. Have you noticed this? So if we start with Elf, anybody enjoy that movie? Story of Buddy from the North Pole. He's grown up thinking he is a Christmas elf and finds out no, he's really human. Goes off to New York to find his family, to have an adventure, and to see what life is all about for him as a human being. And then there's It's a Wonderful Life, where George Bailey discovers what the world would have been like without him if he hadn't been born, how different it would have been, and what a difference he made in the world. Poor old Charlie Brown, who discovers the meaning, the real meaning of Christmas. And I can relate to Charlie Brown. He is just one of those characters that you just know is, wanting to find the reality and the truth of life and is just searching for it. And he finds it in this little movie. And good old Ebenezer, A Christmas Carol. Now, this is such an interesting story because it's a story of overnight transformation. Can somebody change so quickly? And so I find it every year is inspiring to me that we could go to bed as a miser and wake up as the most generous, kind human being. And it gives hope that we can change no matter what's been happening in our world, in our lives, no matter how many years we've been, uh, you know, taking some kind of action that's harmful to our bodies or whatever. It's possible to change and transform and evolve. It's possible. And if you're interested in learning more about how this story was written, this is another movie, The Man Who Invented Christmas. I don't know how many of you have seen this one. It's all about Charles Dickens and how he wrote the book. And I highly recommend this movie. I went and bought my own DVD because I like to watch it every year. And of course, I mean, there's lots of Christmas stories, including the Hallmark movies. I always watch a couple of those every season. What they all have in common is a message of hope and transformation. Hope for the birth of something new. And I find them to be annual reminders that we are here to grow. We're here to evolve, to become so much more than we realize. Every single one of us, it's what we're about. So if we look at the metaphysical symbology of the Christmas story, it's all about evolutionary transformation, truly. And I really love the universality of the Christmas message, basically peace on earth, and how we can bring that forth. And so when it comes to the Christmas story, some people see it as more of a metaphorical or metaphysical meaning, with all of the characters reflecting parts of each of us, all of the symbology having some part of us that is, an element of our spiritual journey. Others, see it as a true story. This is a historical event when Jesus was born and there was a star in the sky and the wise men came and it really happened. Others think of it as more of a legend, is it the legend of the birth of the Christ? And whether we believe it to be a true story or not really doesn't matter. And here's why. The the real meaning, the real gift of it is encoded within the story. See, that's the beauty of it. It's right there within the story. And I mean, this is a good time for us to remember that the symbology found in the Christmas story can be found in traditions that predate Christianity. The virgin birth, showed up in Egyptian, Aztec traditions. That was already happening. Abraham, Moses, they had bright stars shining when they were born. The births of Krishna, Buddha, the Greek god Apollo, they were all foretold by stars with angelic beings proclaiming the news. Jesus wasn't the only one with visitors bearing gifts. Krishna was given gifts of sandalwood and perfumes. The Buddha was visited by the rishi who brought costly jewels and precious substances. Even Confucius was visited by wise men. So we see this story playing out in many different arenas in our traditions. And what this means to me is that these elements of the Christmas story, they're universal symbols. And that's the exciting part. They can give us insight as to what's the underlying truth found in the story. And if we look at the metaphysical meaning behind each symbol, we can find that what that personal meaning might be for all of us on our path of awakening. And of course, it begins with the divine marriage of Mary and Joseph. It all starts there, which represents harmony, balance between the intellect and our feeling nature, the head and the heart. There's a balance there that needs to happen. And when it does, the stage is set for something new to be born, something precious to emerge. And so that's the beginning for us, is to find that balance between head and heart, that connection, that divine connection that is between all of those centers of the body, really. But the heart, the head, it's an important connection that needs to happen. So this morning, I want to really look at some of the symbology, the star, the shepherds, the angels, the wise men. Let's have a look at what those things mean. And if we start with the star, what does that symbolize for you, within you and I? Excuse me. So the star in this story represents a guiding light that is within each one of us, already there. It's our inspiration. It's the illumination, the divine ideas that come from spirit. And this vision that is wanting to come forth, it's always ready. It's always waiting. And you see, when we have this divine marriage between the heart, the head, something can emerge. This inspiration can come forth. It sort of bubbles up from within us. So metaphysically, the Star of Bethlehem can lead us to a higher consciousness, and it calls us to follow, you see. And that star is ever present. It's ready to awaken us to the truth right now, to guide us to, you think of a sleeping child that's cradled in your heart. And it's really the awakening of our spiritual essence that we're talking about here. So that guidance is always shining brightly. It's always willing to lead us. It's a living light. It's a star of hope. But we have to be receptive to it. You know, it's shining brightly right now, but we have to be willing to listen to it. In the story, only certain people could see that star. It was there shining for everybody, but not everyone was able to find it. Only the illumined followed it. So metaphysically, the guidance is always there for us to follow, has always been there for us to follow. But are we seeing it? You know, are we getting the message from spirit, or are we looking with a clouded vision, obscured by maybe judgments, seeing through a lens of limiting beliefs that we have about ourselves or about our past? Because those clouds will obscure our view of the light. So we have to raise our sights, go up beyond the clouds to see it. Charles Fillmore said, stars may be remote, but they're bright if we look up to them. They may be remote, but they're bright if we looked up to them. So we need to look up, raise our vision to a higher perspective, see with clarity, with openness, with willingness, with wonder, the kind of wonder that the shepherds may have experienced on that night. So imagine the shepherds very humbly, quietly tending their flock when what happened? They're dazzled by the appearance of an angel. So if we look at this metaphysically, when we stay in a place of humility, hopeful expectancy, open and willing to be led to the truth, we will get those flashes of deep spiritual understanding. We'll get the insight. So what does tending our flock metaphysically mean? It means watching our thoughts, being mindful, keeping them focused and in alignment with what we want to bring forth. choosing our thoughts wisely, tending that flock. And when we do that, we can be visited by an angel. So angels are messengers of spirit, working inside each and every one of us, bringing forth what? Good tidings of great joy. Bringing forth those tidings. It's always happening, but we have to get ourselves in alignment with the truth of who we are in order to hear those tidings. So let me ask, are you tending your sheep, your thoughts? Are you watching your flock by night, which means being mindful of negative thinking that can, come in there, and what happens when we do, where that takes us. So are we spending time in the quiet every day listening for the messages from Spirit, for a word from the angels? Are you experiencing good tidings of great joy? Or does your life feel more like it does for these little ones, right? Because when we listen and look for the angels, we're going to find them. They're all around us. I mean, maybe we call them friends. Every one of us is called to be an angel, to be the messenger of Spirit's blessing. All of us have angelic impulses. It's who we are. And when we follow those impulses, we are being in service to humanity. Do you see that? And by following those angelic inspirations, we can be led to the birth of something much greater in our life. And we can help to make the world a better place. And guess what? It's that feeling of joy that we're talking about here that is the angelic energy within us. And that joy exists right now in every single heart, all through the year. All through the year. Maybe it gets activated during the holiday season, but the truth is, it's our deeper dimension of wholeness and beauty. It's already there. It's accessible to us every moment of our lives. And when we awaken to that deeper dimension through the heart, through our acts of love, through our acts of kindness and giving, as we follow these angelic impulses, we experience being the presence of love and the presence of compassion on the planet. And the world can certainly use more of that, can it not? One of the reasons I love this time of year so much is because my family was very joyful at Christmas time. My mother was the biggest kid of all at Christmas, and she really radiated the joy of it. That joy was real. And every December, it just kicks in for me automatically. And I always miss my mom during this time of year, especially when I'm decorating or doing some of the activities that we used to always do together. So this time of year can be very hard for some of us who, if we're separated from the ones we love, either through physical distance or through an estrangement of some kind. So it's all the more important for us to follow these angelic impulses and allow them to rise up and bless all those around us, share the joy. So make no mistake, what you do matters. Right now, what you do matters. Who you are matters in our world. Never doubt that for a moment. And when you share the joy that you are, the love, the divine love that you are with the world, it matters. It makes a difference. It blesses our world in a greater way. I read a story called The Man Who Missed Christmas by an author called J. Edgar Park, where a man discovered what could happen if you are ignoring these angelic impulses and choosing not to share them. The man in the story, his name was George Mason. He was in his office on Christmas Eve. George was the last person to leave the office that day, and so he walked into the massive safe to deposit some important papers, not realizing that the door was swinging shut behind him, and it slammed shut, and he was trapped. And there was no way to get out until someone came to open the safe the next morning. Now, he was very frightened, very upset, but then he found a source of air that was blowing in from a fan. So he knew that he was in no physical danger, but he would just have to sit it out and wait. And then it dawned on him, tomorrow's Christmas. No one's going to come into the office. And he began to wonder who would miss him. And he realized no one would. He was unmarried and he lived alone. He'd been invited to spend Christmas with his brother's family, but children got on his nerves. They all expected gifts, so he had told them he wasn't coming. He was invited to play music at a special Christmas gathering at a local nursing home, but he turned that down too. He decided he was just going to stay at home by himself and be alone. So suddenly he realized no one would come to open that safe. No one in the whole world would miss him. And so he spent those long hours over the holiday all alone in the office safe, saw that his life had to change. So the day after Christmas, the clerk came early, opened the safe, and then went about his business. And no one saw George stagger out of the safe, and he left. And I'm assuming made a beeline for the washroom. I don't know. And then he took a cab home, changed his clothes, shaved, and returned. No one said a word as he came back in the office. He had vanished during Christmas, and not a soul knew it. And during his time in the safe over the holiday, this man had done a whole lot of thinking about his life. And he made some commitments. He decided to reshape his life. So a year later, he was a different person. Again, it was Christmas Eve. Again, he was the last to leave the office. And this time, he shut the door very carefully. He went out singing on his way to his brother's house, his arms laden with gifts, open-hearted, connected to the warmth, kindness, and the caring within him. And as he was leaving, he looked at the words that he had written and hung in his office that said this: to love people, to be indispensable somewhere. That's the purpose of life and the secret of happiness. So we all have the potential for that kind of transformation without experiencing some sort of traumatic occurrence as he did. To be an angel in someone's life, this is what divine love in action looks like. Kindness is our natural state. And when we follow these angelic impulses that bring us joy, the guidance and the inspiration is going to lead us right inside of ourselves. We're going to discover such amazing wonders as it did for the wise men that night. From the book of Matthew, now when Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of Herod the king, behold, wise men came from the east to Jerusalem, saying, where is he who has been born King of the Jews? For we have seen a star in the east and have come to worship him. Now, Herod is very troubled by their question. I mean, after all, he was the king of the Jews, right? And so he gathered his scribes together and asked them where Christ would be born. And they answered, Bethlehem. And so Herod sent the wise men there and told them to tell him when they had found the baby so that he could also worship. So Herod, the Darth Vader of the Bible story, is up to no good. This is a king who's so threatened by the birth of the Christ child that he orders all babies under the age of 2 to be killed. Very nasty. But when we remember that all the characters and all the symbols in the story can be found within us, well, it makes us look maybe with a little more curiosity at Herod, find out what's that all about? What does this representing within me? And how might that be affecting my spiritual journey? And of course, he represents the voice of the ego, which stands for edging God out. It's the false identity, that part of us that believes in separation from God, from each other, that part that believes in our littleness. It's always threatened by the birth of something new, by the expansion of our spiritual identity, because what's going to happen to it? Sees it as a threat. In fact, tries to kill off the idea. And it's that voice inside of us that tells us that we can't do it, or that we're powerless, or that we're not good enough. Do you know that voice? That's Herod within us. So when we hear that voice of Herod, we have to remember something. It's not speaking the truth. It's the voice of fear. So when we hear that voice, we want to have compassion, self-compassion, but we don't want to follow its guidance, right? And the wise men in the story realized that. They knew better than to go back and tell Herod that they had found the child. And we have that same wisdom within us, ready to help us discern the truth. And so wise men from the east, We assume there were three of them, that since there were three gifts, doesn't actually say that anywhere. Maybe there were more and they pitched in on a gift. Who knows? Maybe, maybe. So the wise men represent metaphysically our own inner wisdom, of course, our spiritual insight. And later in Matthew, we read, and when they were come into the house, they saw the young child with Mary, his mother, and fell down and worshipped him. And they opened their treasures. They offered him gifts, gold and frankincense and myrrh. So the gifts that they brought represent our own spiritual resources. The gold, which is the abundance in our lives when we follow Spirit's guidance. Frankincense, which is the transforming power of prayer. Like incense, it rises heavenward. See, that's the whole idea of prayer. And then myrrh, it's used for embalming. It's the power of surrender and release. So these are the riches that are available to us through our realization of oneness with the presence and the power of the divine. And as we surrender to that greater mind, as we expand our prayer consciousness, let go of any limitations that may be holding us back, the gifts of spirit rise up. They just naturally arise. It's our abundance that lives within us. All those gifts are within us right now. They're waiting to be unwrapped. Now, these gifts were pretty substantial investments. From what I understand, gold was worth $600 a pound, about the same for frankincense. Myrrh was about $4,000 a pound. These were not cheap gifts. But I always used to think that they could have brought more useful gifts for a baby, maybe some swaddling clothes, for instance. And I thought, well, right here is where that tradition began of giving of gifts that later end up getting regifted or end up in a garage sale. However, I just recently read that myrrh is good for diaper rash. So, well, there you have it. Maybe they were useful gifts after all. But of course, the real gift is our presence. You see, this is the best gift that we can give, being present to our loved ones, to the world. We are the way that the divine reveals itself to the world. And our mandate is to spread love. That's our mandate. That's our job. So imagine if you are here to be the vehicle for compassion. How might you change your life? Would you change your life? Would you need to change your life? So this Christmas season, like Elf, let's discover who we really are and then strike out and share that with the world, unapologetically as he did. Like George Bailey, let's live our lives in such a way that we see the world as a better place because we are in it. Like Charlie Brown, let's really drill down and get the true meaning of Christmas in a much deeper way. And like Ebenezer, let's remember it's never too late to transform and be who we've come here to be. It's never too late. It can happen right now, right here. So I invite all of us to stop hiding our light under a bushel, if that's what we've been doing, or to keep our joy all locked up in a vault and realize who we are matters. This is the biggest part of the Christmas story. Who we are matters. Now is the time, and we are the ones that we've been waiting for. So to take the Christmas story a little deeper, follow our stars. Look within for that guiding light, Spirit's inspiration, illumination, direction. Spend time in the silence to do that, listening with humble expectancy, as the shepherds did. And then tend to your thoughts. Keep them focused on what you want to have come forth. And then look for those angelic messages. Look for the angels. Become an angel for someone. Look for them and become one. And then let the wisdom of your heart be your guide. Allow that wisdom to rise up from within you, bearing gifts to you and then to the world. You know, the power of God lies within us like a sleeping giant, waiting to be awakened in order to be expressed and make a difference in the world. The true story of the true message of the story of the birth of Jesus is about that awakening. It's through the birth in our awareness of a deeper dimension of who we are, the loving, joy-filled presence of the Christ. May all beings awaken to this truth. Merry Christmas. Let's take that message into a moment of meditation. So I invite you to get settled in your seat and to relax your body. Focus on your breathing and let every breath just help you relax a little more as we sink our awareness deep within the body, knowing that within us are the gifts, just awaiting our recognition, awaiting our discovery. And so we listen for the guidance, the illumination, the angelic joy. The understanding. It's all there. That when we tend our thoughts, when we open our hearts in joy and love, we discover something much deeper. And we realize we are here to be the ones. And so with gratitude, I invite you to open your heart right now as you bring into your awareness someone or something that activates a feeling of gratitude in your heart. You want to feel the warmth of that. And let that feeling expand and radiate all throughout your body and beyond. And we let the love and the compassion that we truly are find a way to bless the world. We are the vehicles through which Spirit expresses. And as each one of us becomes the avenue through which love is expressed on this planet in a deeper way, then something greater is revealed. The birth of something new, transformative. So we open ourselves to this deeper dimension, and we give grateful thanks for the opportunity to put the Christmas story into practice, to be reminded yet again of the power that lives within us, knowing that we are here to bring forth peace on earth. And for the opportunity to be an angel, to allow the joy of the truth of who we are to be shared with the world. We are grateful. And so it is. Amen.
On the first day of Christmas, Christ love gave to me faith to see divinely. On the second day of Christmas, Christ love gave to me strength to keep me steady and faith to see divinely. On the third day of Christmas, Christ's love gave to me wisdom in all choices, strength to keep me steady, and faith to see divinely. On the fourth day of Christmas, Christ's love gave to me love to bless my journey, wisdom in all choices, strength to keep me steady, and faith to see divinely. On the fifth day of Christmas, Christ's love gave to me power to speak the truth, love to bless my journey, wisdom in all choices, strength to keep me steady, and faith to see divinely. On the sixth day of Christmas, Christ's love gave to me imagination's vision, how to speak the truth, love to bless my journey, wisdom in our choices, strength to keep me steady, and faith to see divinely. On the seventh day of Christmas, Christ's love gave to me understanding's insight, imagination's vision, how to speak the truth, love to bless my journey, wisdom in our choices, strength to keep me steady, and faith to see divinely. On the eighth day of Christmas, Christ's love gave to me will to choose the good, understanding's insight, imagination's vision, how to speak the truth, love to bless my journey, wisdom in our choices, strength to keep me steady, and faith to see divinely. On the ninth day of Christmas, Christ's love gave to me order for all things, will to choose the good, understanding's insight, imagination's vision, how to speak the truth, love to bless my journey, wisdom in all choices, strength to keep me steady, and faith to see divinely. On the 10th day of Christmas, Christ's love gave to me, sealed to live with passion, order for all things, will to choose the good, understanding's insight, imagination's vision, how to speak the truth, love to bless my journey, wisdom in all choices, strength to keep me steady, and faith to see divinely. On the 11th day of Christmas, Christ's love gave to me, release to free my burdens, sealed to live with passion, order for all things, will to choose the good, understanding's insight, imagination's vision, how to speak the truth, love to bless my journey, wisdom in all choices, strength to keep me steady, and faith to see divinely. On the 12th day of Christmas, Christ's love gave to me life to live eternally, release to free my burdens, sealed to live with passion, order for all things, will to choose the good, understanding's insight, imagination's vision, how to speak the truth, love to bless my journey, wisdom in all choices, strength to keep me steady, and faith to see divinely.
Wow, that's a great song. I had forgotten. I heard it last year and I'd forgotten it. Oh, so Jane, wonderful, wonderful lesson. I love you. You're an angel. And so is Diane Riley. Diane, thank you for being with us. Unity Prayer Chaplain. Diane has been with us year after year and faithfully on Sunday morning holding the high watch and throughout the week. Send your prayer request to Diane at praywithdiane@gmail.com. And obviously, if you lose that email, you can always call the church line or send it through through our website. Thank you, Diane, as usual, for being there, and we appreciate you so much. December 21st, our Debbie Long will be joining us online. The Christ child is born, and so are we. Sounds like a rebirth to me, so there you go. And we'll take a moment now at this time to say thank you to all of you who continue to support this ministry through your gifts and your sharing of all that you have. And let's take a moment to share that prayer together in thanks for these love offerings. Divine love, now flowing through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give and all that I receive, and it is a blessing wherever we go, wherever it goes in this world. And just to affirm with you, Unity Halton Peel in the month of December is supporting Eden Food for Change. They feed 78,000 people in Mississauga through the food bank, and at least that many in the Burlington Hamilton area as well. And we also share Unity Canada. And our special gift during the month of December was delivered this week. We sent $1,100 to the family in Burlington who needed assistance after they'd lost their dad of 35 years, 3 young children. We chose to send a gift of money to this group, the Burlington Dads, who are upgrading and refitting the house, the home, so that they can live in it comfortably, efficiently, and safely. So they had about a $30,000 project, and they're just about $2,000 short of their goal. So I was very happy to represent all of you and send that $1,100 to them. So if you are joining us for the first time online or in person, you can sign up for our website or our newsletter that we send out every week on Wednesday by going to our website, unityhaltonpeel.ca, and going to resource. You can sign up for the newsletter. And we send that out every week with the link for the Sunday morning services, and it also shows you any of the other events that are going on within Unity organization or our own licensed Unity teachers leaders, so that you can join those as you would like to. And remember that every Thursday, Pat Laurent continues to hold a meditation Thursday at 12:30, and she is faithfully there every single week. So thanks and appreciation to Pat Laurent for doing that. Let's take our moment now to bless our children and youth of Unity and of the world. We love you, we bless you, and we appreciate you just the way you are. I am grateful for all of the children of the world, and I'm particularly grateful for my children and my grandchildren. So amen. Thank you, God. Let's repeat together our closing prayer, the prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is. I am divine. And so it is. And we're during the month of December, instead of I Choose Love, we are listening to some pre-recorded Christmas music. And this is Debbie Long. There's McGill and Claudia, and they're singing Mary's Boy Child. Mary, did you know?
I wonder where you called that night, lying there by Mary's side, taking your first breath. I wonder where you scared to death, fully human, fully God, full of wonder and the love that one day you would share to save the world. Tiny feet and tiny hands, with all the earth at your command. It must have felt strange to you, sweet baby Jesus, come down to love us, to lie in a manger, so far from home. You could have left us, helpless and so lost, but you chose to love us, sweet baby Jesus. The first time Mary held you close, all wrapped up in tattered clothes, did you see tears
Sweet baby Jesus, come down to love us, to lie in a manger, so far from home. Oh, you could have left us helpless and so lost, but you chose to love us, sweet baby Jesus. Sweet baby Jesus, come down to love us, to lie in a manger, so far from home. Oh, you could have left us helpless and so lost, but you chose to love us, sweet baby Jesus. Sweet baby Jesus.
Up your mic. Yes, there we go. Good morning, everyone. And you are welcome to open your mics and say hello. And I see we have McGill and Claudia joining us from Florida. Good morning. And we've got Patricia. Good morning, Patricia. Good to have you here. And everyone say hello to Jane, anybody that's would like to. Good morning, Margot and Diana. We see you.
Morning.
Yes. Oh, McGill's showing us the beautiful stonework in a swimming pool.
Hello, ladies.
Hello. Hi. Hi,
How
McGill.
are you?
Good.
Thank you. Thank you for that message. Claudia's not here. Claudia's working today. And song, a lot of memories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Good to
that
see
was
you.
good to see you. I'm glad that you recorded that. We had Mary Did You Know last week, Miguel. And so
Oh,
I had not heard that song, this one before. I didn't
yeah,
know I
we
didn't know
neither.
that
That
song.
was the first time.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you can tell.
Yeah. So, anyone got anything they'd like to share?
Let me see.
I just want to say how
I
wonderful it
Oh,
is to
there's
be
young
with you all.
Miguel. There he is. Look at him. Hi. Traveling all over the place playing music.
Oh,
Aren't you?
yeah.
Yeah. Very involved in his school. The school is an art school with music and art, right, Miguel? Yeah.
Yeah, we're leaving to Fort Myers right now. Just
Say,
wanted to swing by and say hello and receive that beautiful message. Thank you so much for that
yes.
message.
So glad you can join us from Florida. You're in my heart every day, all the time. You know it. And Diane Riley's sending you a message, McGill. Great to see you. How is life in Florida?
We taking there. We're one day at a time. We're moving. Kids are good. Kids are okay, and we're getting there.
The work is coming along for you. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
good. That's
slowly,
good.
but
Good. Well, stay safe, and we're thinking about you.
for sure. Thank you so much. You're in my prayers. Beautiful service.
Yeah, it is gorgeous. Hey, Yvonne.
Hello.
Hello, Ivan.
Hello. Yeah. Nice seeing you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hope you're all doing well.
Yes, we are. Miguel, Miranda.
Yes.
Miguel, ven acá.
Oh, there's Miranda. There's Miranda.
She is not ready. but she's coming with us.
What do you mean I'm ready?
We hope. You're ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice seeing you, Claudia, and everybody.
Yvonne.
Yes.
Isn't this an amazing time? Jane is way over on the West Coast. McGill is down in Florida, and here we are in Ontario seeing old friends. Like this is just so amazing. So
Oh, yeah.
McGill, we're gonna hold our candle lighting service tomorrow night. We will be streaming at 7 o'clock. It's a new event.
Oh,
We're doing it from my home, so it'll
great.
we've got about 10 people attending, so we're going to see how we manage. This is as Jane used to say, prepare everybody. I've been preparing them all for an experiment, Jane. We're going to experiment.
The candle service will be amazing. I'm sure of that.
So if you can join us, please do. Love to have the feedback too. So say hi to
Absolutely. I'll tell Claudia.
let Claudia know. Yeah. So we'll miss the music support. Yeah.
The spirit support is bigger, greater, wonder.
Yeah, it's a new time for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Okay.
wonderful to be with you all, and especially this time of year. I really
Thank you, Jane.
love
Thank
the
you.
Christmas message and all that it means. So
Yes,
um,
it was beautiful, Jane, and
Yes.
I love the well, hope is certainly what I feel, but I love the story about Mr. Watson and his
Yes.
yes,
his being locked in. It's interesting how many people pull back at Christmas
Mhm.
because of how they feel instead of trying to find somebody to interact with. So I like that idea of find your angel.
Mhm.
You know,
they're all around.
yeah,
Yes,
for sure. Thank
and
you, thank you.
Yes.
this time of year, I always wear. This is my mother's
Oh,
Christmas.
I
Yes,
remember that.
yes,
Oh my goodness.
yes. So it always makes an appearance around this time of year.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
feel my mom.
You can feel her arms around you, Jane.
I can. Yeah.
Yeah, and so
Well,
go have a nice bowl of
yes.
squash soup and
Thank you
think
for
of your
that.
mom. Yeah,
Yes.
sure.
Well, blessings to you all. Have a wonderful Christmas, everyone. I look forward to seeing you in the new year.
You will.
And
And thank you for a lovely lesson. It was
thanks, Yvonne.
Thanks, Jane. Merry Christmas. Happy New
Merry
Year.
Christmas to all of you.
Look
Bye
forward
bye.
bye-bye.
Thank
to
you.
speaking to you
Thank you,
soon.
ladies.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Anybody, anything? Talk to you later. Bye-bye.